Hello, hi there guys, this is Anamor and welcome to Sign Codes. In today's video, we'll be going over using signals and input events with visual scripting. Visual scripting has been, well, quite underrated ever since Godot came up with it, but I believe it has got some potential left in it which is still not used because of the lack of documents and tutorials, or documentation tutorials, I'm sorry. So I'm here bringing you a tutorial, and in future I'll be bringing you tutorials on creating custom nodes and all that stuff. I believe it will be up by the time this tutorial is up and going. Well, or I will have it in production pipeline or something like that. So let's just say the effect that we're going to be creating for now is if I hit this collision shape, the color of the sprite gets multiplied with a reddish or orangish color, and now if I change it to something more yellow, and we can see that's get multiplied with a yellowish color. So that's pretty simple setup, and it requires pretty few nodes, and I believe even GED script will require a lot more nodes than this. So it's pretty good example for using visual scripting. So setting up signals can be pretty well done using visual scripting, as it has got quite a bit of power behind it, but you will need to know a few basics. So let me show you how to do it. I'm just going to create a new project, close everything up, go to 2D, and let's create a basic node. Let's call it base. Add a area 2D. Let's call it area. Let's call it let's create a shape 2D. I want to call it shape. Let's create sprite, call it sprite, and let's add the icon png texture to it, bring it to the center with the shape, add a circle shape, and just drag this in a handle and make it much bigger, and go to the area and lock the children from being selected, and so that we don't move it accidentally. And that's all that we need to do. Other than that, just go to debug and check this visible collision shapes option so that you can see everything. And now let's just save the scene. I'm gonna say base.tscn. You can save it with any name you like, and as you can see, the clicks are doing nothing because we need to set up the signals. The first thing that we're going to do is go to inspector, go to pickable, and make sure it's tigged. The next thing I would like to do is go to node, go to input event. Oh sorry, let's first add a visual script. So I'm just gonna call it sprite mod, because it's because we are going to be using the modulate function or the property of the sprite. So I'm just going to call it sprite mod and hit create. Go to the area, go to node, go to signals, and go to input event, hit connect, and go to sprite, go to make function and hit connect, and make sure the make function is ticked, and well, just hit connect so that when it's on sprite, and that's done. Next up we need to do is use this event and check if the input event action is pressed or not. To do that, we're just going to drag and drop it and hit the call, and as you can see that it is of type object and does not have the function that we need. And to fix that, we need to change the instance type of this node. To do that, we'll just go to base type, to the inspector, and then to the base type, and then just change it to input event action, and use the function bool.isAction pressed, and we're just going to attach the object instance to this. And next up, we are going to use this boolean value, and to do that we need to create a condition. So to do, the easiest way to do that is just drag the sequence and add a condition, and I just can connect this boolean to this condition. And now let me just explain all of this a little bit. So this is a function which takes in all these three arguments. So whenever a signal connects to this function, it will give us all three arguments as data, and we can use that data to, well, access this action and check if it's pressed or not. And to do that, we'll just give it have to give it the name of the action that we need to use. I've already set up an action, but I'm going to show you how to do it anyways. Just go to project settings, go to input map, and this is the UI left mouse button. I'm just going to delete it and show you how to create it. UI left mouse button. Sorry, it's not button, it's button. Let's hit add, and let's go to plus, or this is the add event button. Just hit mouse button and make sure it's device 0, that will be your primary mouse, and hit left button. There are all the other buttons, but we are going to be using the left button. Hit add, hit close, and we are ready to go. So just type in UI left mouse button, and that should be it. And just for your guys' information, I'm using the version 3.0.2, and is the stable version available also on Steam, so you can download from there if you don't already have the latest stable version. But other than that, everything is fine. So as you can see, the sequence is going from the function to the condition, and this is because whatever you need to access, all the data that needs to be accessed does not need a sequence node. It just needs an additional node which will process your data, which can be done well without giving it another step. But the condition, which is the actual processor, which will need the sequence so that it can forward it to whatever the next job will be, depending on the condition. If it's true, this is a sequence node that will be set. If it's false, this is the one that will go through. And if the true and false have been executed, then this is the done command that will be executed next. So it's as simple as that. The next step that we are going to do is add a self node. Just type in available node self and drag this self node over here. So all this is pretty simple actually. The self node is like this in Java, and it accesses the object the script is a part of. So in this case it will be the sprite. So if we go to get, and this is where the Godot is pretty good. It detects the type of the object and gives us all the options or the function that we can access, which was not there in the case of input events, which is not actually an accessible type. So that's a bit of a problem. Other than that, let's just quickly access some whatever function we need to do. It's the modulate property actually. So if you need to access a function, you'll go to call. If you need to access a property, you'll go to get. And if you need to set a property, you'll go to set. And I'm just gonna go modulate again, and this time is instant set. So this time we are setting the value rather than getting it. So using get, we will use another node multiply to change the value before passing it into the set function. So let's pass it in now, and make sure to connect this true to this instant set, so that whenever it is the condition is true, that is an action, the left mouse button action has been performed, it will just execute this function, or this value will be set equal to the sprite modulate, or the modulate value will be set equal to the multiple of this color into this color. But at the moment we don't have an additional color, and we can do that by going to the multiply node, go to inspector, go to type, and just set color, and you get the B value as a default, and you can just change it to whatever you like. I'm just going to change it to something a little bluish, give it a little hint of red and a little more of blue, and this is what I like, a little purplish kind of tint. And now if you just save everything, and if we hit play, you can see that if we click on this, a purple shade will be multiplied over our sprite using the modulate function or modulate property. So that's it for now. In this tutorial we learned how to use the signals, the basics of visual scripting, and some of the operators and some of the things that you need to know while using visual scripting, and while you can use it in your projects. In the next video, we'll be going over using custom nodes and all that kind of crazy stuff, which is pretty advanced, I believe. So I went through this basic tutorial so that you can learn from some of the basic things that there are in visual scripting, so that you can know how to use the custom node, which will have to do with everything that you have learned in this video. So if you don't understand anything, just comment it down in the comment section and let me explain to you, because if you don't understand any of this, then in the custom node video it's going to be a little bit of problem. So bye for now, see you guys later. If you like my video, like, and if you want to subscribe and watch more videos, just do it, please.